Afternoon from amazing Thailand touring. My name is Mike, FreeRider, and I want to have a little video here about my NC750X that I've been riding on for the last 5 years. Motorcycles that I ride. I have a Honda CT125, which I just got about a year ago, and it's the newest addition to my stable. Great little all-around bike. I use it locally. And then I have over here, I have a CRF 250L, and it's a 2015 model, and it has a big board kit in it. Great bike, and done some touring with it, and it's awesome off-road. And of course, my workhorse, my NC750X. This has been a great bike in me all over Southeast Asia. So why do I like this motorcycle? Well, it's really a reliable motorcycle, and it's never let me down. And I can tell you that I've had 15 sets of tires over this period of time, numerous chains and sprockets, and the only thing that I've replaced on it is the water pump. So let's go through what I've put as accessories on this bike. So on the bottom you can see my skid plate, and my skid plate is, as you can see, it is very used. It's actually got damage on the bottom here, but it's still holding out. I've hit lots of rocks with this bike because it's not a true adventure bike, but it is good enough for what I need it to do. And I have the crash bars, Go Beckers, which have done the job. I've got bark busters, and I've got lights, lots of lights, and I'll turn those on for you in a few minutes. And I also have a comfy cheek pads, which I'll show you. And then I have shad. Shad are great because they are so easy to come off and on. So when it comes to shad, easy on, easy off. That's it. And they're off. Very strong. And these boxes have been on this bike for 200,000 kilometers. So if you're looking for something tough and durable, I don't like to have a top box in the back. I've only had it on one bike, and I found it a bit of a pain for my purposes, because when I get to a hotel, I'd like to have all my clothes, everything in one bag, that I don't have to carry in 3 or 4 different items. So when I get to the hotel, I just snap off these 2 rock straps, take the bag, and I'm gone into the hotel. Very, very easy. And this set of rock straps that have been on this bike have been here for at least 2.5 years, and they have not deteriorated, and I never take them off, never. This bike is very easy to start. And when I ride, I like to be visible. So as you can see, I've got 2 sets of riding lights, one with yellow, and these are just covers actually, so these can be removed, but they're good in certain lighting conditions. And then I have these flashers that run all the time, so that oncoming cars can see me, and when I'm coming up behind somebody, they can actually see that I'm behind them. And I've been running with like this on this bike since I've owned it. I've always had lights, lots of lights on it, and it works for me. And you can hear this engine just purrs along. It's amazing. And it hasn't burnt any oil, knock on wood, but it's been a great engine. And you can see that my lights are still on, turned off. There's a relay that I bought, and all my accessories go into a relay box, so it's not directly hooked up to the battery. People have asked me, you know, where has this bike been to? Well, it's been to all over Thailand. Every province in Thailand I've ridden, probably several times. And I've ridden in Myanmar, 3 big trips in Myanmar. I've ridden to Vietnam, 3 trips. I've ridden to Laos, several trips, Cambodia, several trips. And I rode to China, 3 trips. And I actually rode all the way to Mount Everest and base camp on the Tibetan side. And yeah, it's served me very, very well. I can't really complain. It doesn't have the most power compared to a Africa Twin or a GS, but it gets you to the destination every time. So another question is, have you ever crashed? Well, yes, I've crashed quite a few times actually. I've gone over the handlebars on some dirt tracks and hurt my ribs. Last year on a dirt track, about 28 kilometers long, it was pretty technical, and I crashed and broke my left foot. But being a DCT bike, I was able to ride 1,063 kilometers from that area of Thailand back to my home in one day with a broken foot. And the only reason I could do that was I had DCT, so I could just use the full automatic or the shift paddling. I dropped it many times in the rain. I dropped it in Tibet a few times. You know, there was some pretty harsh conditions and stuff like that. But it, you know, I pick it up and it just keeps going. And that's one of the beauties about this bike, is that it's got a very low center of gravity with the gas tank underneath the seat. It makes it much easier to pick up than, let's say, an Africa Twin. It's quite an easy bike, for me anyways, to pick it up. Questions, just ask. I mean, I did a review at 160,000 kilometers, which was actually 3 years ago, and then since then I had bought an X80 750, and I used it for approximately 1 year, and then obviously COVID came around, and my riding was diminishing. I could only ride 30 or 40,000 kilometers per year, actually 40,000, and the reason I sold it, because I just wasn't using it, and it's a great bike. I love the way it rides and stuff like that, but the NC is easier to work on, especially if you're traveling. The X80 had a lot of plastic on it and stuff like that, and when you crash, it's going to cost you a lot more money to repair it. Whereas this bike is very tough and durable, and you can see it's full of scratches, and it's got lots of dents on the skid plate. I've broken the lights off a few times crashing, but it just seems to work for me. And I'm not, you know, if I want something that's shiny and bling bling and you don't ride it, well, I would buy something else. But I like to ride my bikes, and so I don't worry about the little scratches and stuff like that. And if you worry about that too much, well, you're not riding it. And if you don't drop it, probably you don't ride it much either. But yeah, it's a very tough and durable bike, and like I said, she's been very faithful to me. And you can see on the tires here, I'm using Continental TKC 80 on the front and a TKC 70 on the back, and these are off-road tires. The front would be like a 50/50 and the back is a 70/30. I love this combination, and this tire on the front's got 18,000 kilometers on it, and I've still got a couple thousand more to go on it. And so it's been really, it's a great bike. Yeah, it makes a little bit of noise, but it's been very, very good, and all I can say is that it does the job for me. Asked me how long did bearings last. Well, my first set of bearings was almost 90,000 kilometers before I changed them. And on this particular bike, I've run about 100,000 per set. And the last time, when I got to 200,000, I actually just changed them because why wait? And my suspension I've changed to YSS. And I've had very good success with them, and they've stood by their product 100%. And it's made a huge difference. I get is chain and sprockets. If I'm going to change the chain, I always change the sprockets. It's automatic. I always use Honda products because when you buy them in Thailand, they have great service everywhere in Thailand. And I'm getting approximately, my best was 32,000 kilometers, which was really good. And my worst was 20,000. But I would say average 24 to 26,000 kilometers per chain and sprockets. And again, it depends on the terrain. If I go to Laos where there's a lot of mud and dust, it gives it a shorter life. Motorcycle that ticks all the boxes. A lot of people around the world love this motorcycle because it doesn't do anything special, it just does everything well. And I really hope they don't change it. The model hasn't changed much in the last few years. They have changed, they've tweaked it quite a bit. My bike has got the old DCT system, which is like the first generation. My X80V was awesome compared to this with the DCT. So this one is basically, I ride it like I would ride a manual because I'm always shifting, because I can tell when the bike needs to be shifted even better than the DCT on this particular model. But on the X80V, it was definitely at another level. It was much better on the DCT. Other than that, like I said, leave me some questions and I will do my best to answer them. Ride safe out there and enjoy your ride, whatever it is.